How can you support your father? How do you support him moving forward?
Now a son of embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of
The courtroom was packed to capacity. Reporters, flashing cameras, and curious spectators filled every seat. All eyes were locked on Diddy's trial, but no one was prepared for what would unfold next. The judge raised a hand, calling for silence. A new piece of evidence was about to be introduced. It wasn't video this time. It was audio. And when the judge announced whose voice was on the tape, the entire room froze. It was Diddy's own son, Christian Combs. As the audio played, the courtroom fell into a heavy silence. Christian's voice rang out, clear and unmistakable. He spoke about things that had happened inside Diddy's home, personal things. He mentioned secret visitors, luxury flights, and large sums of money being handed out to keep people quiet. Gas spread across the room. The implication was strong. Diddy was the one orchestrating it all. At first, Diddy sat still. He took a sip of water and stared down at the table. But then his demeanor shifted. His hands started to tremble, his eyes filled with rage. And suddenly he snapped. Diddy stood up and pointed toward the speakers. "This is a setup," he yelled. "That's my son. This is all lies." His voice boomed through the courtroom, echoing off the walls.
Your developments tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Kotursky.
Gasps echoed through the courtroom. Reporters began frantically typing as the chaos unfolded. The judge slammed a gavel, trying to restore order, but Diddy refused to calm down. He kept yelling about betrayal, insisting he was being set up. It wasn't long before U.S. Marshals had to intervene and escort him out of the room. It was a powerful, emotional moment, and by the time the footage hit the public, people were already calling it Diddy's full-on breakdown. But the bigger question remained. What exactly did Christian reveal? According to insiders, he spoke about things only someone extremely close to Diddy would ever know.
When the judge did, Diddy, who was sitting at the defense table with his attorneys, did not show any signs of emotion. He took a sip of water before he was led out of the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals. Now, his lawyers have vowed to fight this. They are going to be back in court on Wednesday before the judge who will oversee this trial and try to get Diddy to be released.
He spoke about secret phone calls, private flights arranged for unidentified guests, and large sums of cash changing hands. The recording painted a troubling image, one where Diddy appeared to be orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. Some insiders believe Christian handed over the audio to protect himself, while others think he just couldn't stay silent any longer. Regardless of his motive, the impact was massive. Diddy's legal team tried to control the fallout, saying he was blindsided, hurt, and devastated. One of his attorneys said, "This isn't just a legal battle, it's a personal one. He's facing betrayal from his own son." Diddy has rejected any plea deal. He insists that every encounter was consensual. He's confident he can clear his name in court, and he's made it clear he wants to be a symbol for those who feel unfairly targeted. "Maybe I can prove that a black man can still win in federal court," he said.
Accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and force. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults.
Meanwhile, social media went wild. Hashtags like #DiddyBreakdown and #ChristianSpeak started trending instantly. Fans were split. Some praised Christian for his courage, while others labeled him a backstabber. Since the audio aired, Christian hasn't made any public statements, but sources close to the case say this could be just a start. More tapes might surface, more shocking details, possibly even more family members stepping into the spotlight. This trial has moved beyond just fame or fortune. It's now a raw, painful clash between a father and his son. Diddy, once celebrated for his influence and dominance, now finds himself in the toughest battle of his career. And he's facing it without the people who used to stand by his side. When he entered the courtroom that day, he looked around searching for his family.
Feels A, he's innocent, which is why he's not going to plead guilty. B, he's going to be truthful about this case because he wants to portray that to the people who have loved him his whole life. And I think he also feels an obligation to people in general. Maybe it's black people, maybe it's white people, maybe it's anybody who's ever felt aggrieved and targeted by the government. He feels an obligation to those people to say, you know what, maybe I can break the model. You know, maybe I can show the world that a black man can win, you know, in federal court. And I think he probably is the only person I know of who might be able to actually accomplish.
They had shown up before, but this time they were nowhere to be seen. No sons, no mother, no sister, just Diddy standing alone. Some believe his emotional outbursts could damage his case. Judges tend to frown on that kind of loss of control. It suggests instability, and it can cast doubt over everything else. Now all attention has shifted to Christian. Will he take the stand next? Will he expose even more of what went on behind closed doors? And can Diddy keep it together before it all completely unravels? One thing's for sure, when Diddy heard that recording, it wasn't just his son's voice he heard. It was the sound of his legacy collapsing. Everything came crashing down in that moment, and he broke right there in front of the world. This trial isn't finished, but after that courtroom scene, the world saw a version of Diddy they'll never forget. A father betrayed, a son speaking out, and a moment that changed everything.